Bitter rivals during the days of the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, Mario and Sonic have finally come together to prove who's best, where peace is supposedly the pervading vibe, the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games lets players compete in the world's most celebrated sports competition without booking an international flight. Does this title go for the gold, or stumble out of the blocks? Mario and Sonic's biggest strength lies in its wide variety of events and ways to play. 24 sports are represented, including freestyle swimming, table tennis, the javelin throw, skeet shooting, the long jump, and even fencing. Up to 4 players can compete in a single event or participate in special circuits, which link multiple disciplines together. Completing circuits is the only way to access new events, so it's nice that you can play with your friends as you work towards unlocking them all. Characters include the usual suspects from both franchises, and each side has its share of B-list entries. Players should recognize Waluigi and Daisy from countless appearances in other Mario spin-offs, but if you've never heard of Blaze and Vector, no one can blame you. Each character has specific attributes such as power, speed, and skill, or if you prefer, you can play using one of your Miis with neutral stats. A single player can take on the game's mission mode. Featuring different objectives for each character, goals include clearing the high jump bar without tucking in your legs, or stumbling across the finish line with 0 stamina. However, some objectives make little sense, such as having to finish a race in second place instead of first. Mario and Sonic also lets players learn bits of Olympic trivia, but in order to see the answer for each question, you have to complete a pointless minigame like Whack-A-Mole. There are enough circuits and events to keep a group of friends from getting bored too quickly, but the random single-player objectives don't really add much to the game. While the Wii's motion-sensing controller brings more activity to the mix, Mario and Sonic has many of the same pitfalls that Olympic titles have always faced. Only now, instead of mashing buttons to run faster, you're frantically shaking the remote and nunchuck. Events like the triple jump and pole vault lock your speed after a few seconds, but your arms will definitely get a good workout. In an artificial attempt to make the game more challenging, many events have complicated or irritating mechanics tacked on. The game penalizes you for thrusting the remote too hard during a jump or javelin throw, and experimenting to find the right amount of force can be a fruitless exercise in frustration. Rather than simply judging rhythm, rowing competitions ask you to push random button combinations with each stroke, which will surely exasperate non-gamers trying to locate the Z and B buttons. Meanwhile, vault routines have you twisting and turning both controllers in tandem, but it's difficult to tell how your motions relate to the action on screen or what it takes to please the judges.
What?
As you'd expect, the better events are the ones that mimic real-life exercises more closely. Table tennis isn't much different from Wii Sports Tennis.
I'm a winner!
Archery has you pulling the arrow back with one hand and then lining up 2 cursors to aim, replicating the sense of holding a bow with both hands.
10.
And to win longer 400-meter races, you have to shake the controllers at a more relaxed pace, saving your energy for the final dash to the finish line.
Go!
There are also 4 fantasy-based Dream events. Dream Fencing and Table Tennis simply add special attacks to the mix, while Dream Race is basically a watered-down version of Mario Kart on foot, complete with bombs and Koopa shells. Dream Platform lets you skydive through hoops, avoiding obstacles and performing tricks to gain speed boosts. Most of the game's events are passable, but the concepts that truly shine are outweighed by moments of frustration and disappointing mechanics. The characters in Mario and Sonic don't look too bad.
Not too bad, right?
But it's clear that Sega and Nintendo went with the bare minimum in the game's presentation. No matter what the event is, the characters continue wearing the same basic costumes. So Tails and Bowser don't wear masks when fencing, and you'll have to just accept that Mario and Luigi can swim just fine wearing boots and heavy clothing. Arenas look empty and lifeless without other competitors or judges in the background, and voice clips are sometimes reused to a criminal degree.
Doing good. Doing good.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games can be fun with friends, but many of the events are tiresome in more ways than one. Overall, it lacks the polish and simplicity to compete with so many other minigame collections on the Wii, leaving the unlikely pairing of mascots as its biggest draw.